Here we go. We are live. It is Sunday, June 15th, 2025, MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin, and my co-host, Mr. Big Marcel. We are here to talk about an absolutely fucking terrible UFC Atlanta card. Just absolutely terrible card. And I broke the show, apparently, Marcel. I broke the show. It was all my fault. I broke the broadcast last night. But we're here to talk about it anyways. But
it was the highlight. It was the highlight of the broadcast.
It kind of was, to be honest with you. But in all honesty, like, the card was just absolute garbage. And it's one of those cards where it's like it's not really the UFC's fault, I think, on this one, because like the fights, to be honest, on paper look pretty good. I think it's just the fighters really didn't fight that hard. I don't think. I hate to say it, but like they didn't go for the finish and stuff. Like I don't know. What are you thinking, my brother? Like glad to see you, of course, man, and happy Father's Day to all the children out there that don't know you're their dad, Marcel.
Happy Father's Day to you, Adam, and to everybody who is a father who is listening, by the way. Yeah, I mean, it was just like, it was also fucking late. This card, it was like pay-per-view times as well, you know. It just sucked, you know. There were maybe 3 fun fights on that fucking card, you know. And I mean, probably the highlight on the main card was the Cody against Leone Barcelos fight, and I don't even think that was the main card.
It's okay,
you know. It was okay, and maybe that Kamaru looked like vintage Kamaru again, you know. But overall, that card, man, I mean, this was one of the worst cards so far this year, you know. And sometimes you have at least some finish or a fun fight in between. Not even in the main card, and you had 2 quick finishes, but they were back-to-back pretty much, you know. 2 fights with the 2 Atlanta guys on it, by the way. One got slapped and the other one got the win. But it just wasn't fun, and a lot of people, even people who were in the arena, were like not happy with it. I think I saw Dan Levy's tweet.
What did he say? What did Dan say?
He said like he said like the UFC matchmakers have probably have to come together after this card and talk some tough shit or something, you know, because it wasn't good.
It was bad. I'm going to tweet out the podcast. Just talk for 30 more seconds while I do that, if you don't mind. Just bitch a little more, Marcel.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, I mean, listen, it was hard to keep attention with it. Your attention to it. You know, I was also talking to another guy, and I was like, "What are you thinking about the card?" He's like, "I put my PlayStation on, so I'm watching it on the background."
Yeah,
he's like, "It fucking sucks," you know. Listen, if it's good, we say it's good, but this was not good, you know. And it was late. It's fucking hot in here this weekend, you know. So yeah, not great, you know. And Antoine is in the chat, by the way. I see, you know, he was there. He says, "I pray that they come back. I pray for you as well, but I hope you get some better fights next time, you know." But yeah, what can you say? That worked more than 30 seconds.
No, you did good. Sorry about that. I just retweeted it, I think. Yeah, I just tweeted it. Perfect. Right. Retweeted and retweeted. All right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I agree with everything. Let me just get some comments from the boys in the chat. We got Seamus. What's up, brother? Joe, what's up, man? Or Hype, what's up, man? Joe, what's up, man? Happy Father's Day, Joe. I know it's a tough day for you. Craig, what's up, brother? Glad to have you here, brother Craig. Andy, what's up, man? Glad to have you here as well. Yeah, it was terrible. Sign Collectibles, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Best moment of the C fight was your tweet. It kind of was. That fight was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Antoine, what's up, brother? Glad to have you here as always. You were there last night. God, I feel bad for you, Antoine. I know you were this guy was so pumped for something. Yeah. He's like, dude, I'm so drunk. I can't wait to watch these fights. And the fights were shit.
I hope at least he had a good time, you know.
I think he probably did, but I mean, it's not because the fights were any good. Yeah, I think we should get into the preview or the recap here. Out of 10.
I give it a 3.5. Maybe a 4. Let's say a 4. Let's be nice.
I think you're generous. This card was bad, dude. Honestly, like, I think we gave the Macy the card to Gamrod and Klein. I think that card we gave 3, didn't we?
Yeah, probably. I give it a little bit higher because there were 2 great knockouts. I think there was a great comeback, and I saw vintage Usman back, so that's why I give it a 4. But
I mean, I'm kind of thinking it was like a 3, dude. To be honest.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean.
Maybe a 2. Joe says 2. I don't think he's wrong. This card was bad, dude. Like, it started off good, right? The couple of finishes, the full row. We'll talk about that later on, and the back-to-back knockouts, Wellmaker and Ochoa. But
yeah,
boy, the main card was a drag. I was so tired watching this card, Marcel, and we were messaging. We're just like, wow, this card is so shit. What's up, Knox? Andrew, what's up, brother? Main event was pretty good, I guess. I'll give like at least that's probably why you gave it a 0.5 extra. But
pretty one-sided.
To be honest with you, like I don't even think that should have been a fight of the night. You know,
it should absolutely not been a fight of the night, man. They should have gave Usman the performance.
I would be fine with that, or it would have been. To be honest, Marcel, I actually think the most exciting fight in the card was Angelosa versus Phil Rowe.
Yeah.
Like I think based on what I saw, most people were hyped from that fight. The finish was absolutely amazing, and Phil Rowe got fucking robbed of 50 grand. Dude, every week we were coming on this podcast and bitching about someone getting robbed. Dustin Jacoby, Jared Gordon, Phil Rowe, like Chris Duncan. Like this is a joke at this point. Like I'm almost like tired of even talking about it because like, what's the point? We're sounding like whiny bastards, especially me, not you, but me. We sound like a crybaby. But like, how are they deciding these bonuses? Because that main event was the fifth round was good, but like that shouldn't give it fight of the night.
For me, it's just who they like, you know. I mean, that was pretty obvious in the London card when they gave it to Kevin Holland for the Gunnar Nelson one. Remember when Joe Pfeiffer got a 50K with a win over Alan Amadowski? You know, nobody ever can say like, no, he shouldn't get 50K because the opponent was that bad and it was expected he knocked him out. Man, I mean, also with Wellmaker, he was a massive favorite over Chris Moutinho. I like that he got the 50K bonus. It was a spectacular knockout, you know. But nobody can tell me like Phil Rowe didn't deserve it because he lost the first 2 rounds. I mean, how many times the UFC gives bonuses for comebacks, you know, for finishes, and now they don't? I mean, kind of odd, you know. I don't know what's with him, but I'll keep talking. But yeah, that's how I see it pretty much.
Sorry about that. My dog's like scratching the door trying to get in.
Okay. Now I said people cannot say anymore like, oh, Rowe didn't deserve it because he lost the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
How many times we saw the UFC give performance bonuses for comebacks?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, yeah, it's a joke. All right, we got Dana in the chat. What's up, brother? Glad to have you here.
What's up, man?
Antoine says, crowd-wise, I had fun, but you could tell fighters were nervous like Brundage. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think a lot of fighters didn't want to lose. I think that's what it is. They didn't want to lose, so they didn't like fight to win, basically.
But this is also why the UFC keeps doing this. How do you say that? Show win money thing. You know, you will keep getting that. You know.
You like it or no?
No, of course not. You know, because also the show win money, and if you are on a 2-fight losing skid, I mean, these fighters going to try to win, and don't matter how they win, but they're going to try to win. They're going to try to weasel a win, you know, pretty much.
Like I kind of think, like, and I've been saying this for years, like a finish bonus really would help. Like, I'll give you an example, like the Edmund and Petrosky fight. Like, if Edmund had, just say, like, if he finished that fight, you get an extra, like, 10 grand even. Mm-hmm. I think he would have finished the fight. I really do. Because at that point, he's like, all right, I might as well just, like, you know, weasel my way to the 3rd round, right? As our friend Drew says, the weasel way, the weasel word. I love it. But, that's just an example. Paul, what's up, brother? Glad to have you here.
You saw with Barcelos as well, for example. You know, the last couple of minutes, he was not initiating anymore because he knew he had to fight in the back, you know. And you saw Garbrandt was like, come on. He was like, no, dude, I got to fight in the back. You know, why should I do it?
No, I agree. And Marcus was there. What's up, Marcus? 6 out of 10. You're very generous, brother. You're generous. Maybe it was better in person. I don't know. On TV, it was really tough to watch.
I always think when you're there, it's more fun because you also do other things there, you know?
For sure. I agree with that, for sure. Paul, what's up? We're doing good. Talking to Dana. I thought you were talking to me, Paul. Danger Most, what's up, brother? Rowe was a comeback. Wellmaker flat. Yeah, Wellmaker flattened the guy as a minus 2,500 favorite. Like, and I don't think Wellmaker getting the bonus is wrong. I think it's fine. It's good. Yeah. But like, we're just saying like Buckley getting the bonus doesn't really make a lot of sense in my opinion. And they have given bonuses for decisions. They just did it to Kevin Holland like 2 months ago in London, Marcel. He won a decision. They got a bonus. No. I think Usman deserved a bonus because I think he had one of the best performances. Yeah. But I think Rowe should have got that bonus instead of Buckley. Because Rowe, Marcel, he was 1 minute away from getting 3rd straight loss and probably being cut.
Yeah, true.
Right? So, what's up, Big Gang? Glad to have you here. UFC Atlanta started hot until Chiesa versus McGee. It's true. Okay, let's go through the card. Start with the top, work way down. As far as picks go, it's crazy. I went perfect on the prelims. I got one right in the main card. Just fucking terrible. So I think I was 7-5 because there was the one no contest. How many did you get?
I was 8 and something, and you were 7 and something.
So, jeez, you beat me again. Good job. All right, let's go through the card. Start with main event, work our way down. Kamaru Usman defeats Joaquin Buckley. Vintage performance here by the former champion. Just pretty much controlled the first 4 rounds with just strong wrestling. 12 and a half minutes of, actually almost 13 minutes of control time, Marcel. Buckley couldn't stop the takedowns. Last round, Buckley came on strong. He hurt. Usman won that round. I think that 4-1 is 100% the right scorecard. I do think you could probably give it a 10-8 round, and I think it was the second round. I think that's okay too. I like Mike Bell. I don't know how he gave the fourth round to Buckley. That's pretty wide. And then you got people at Sherdog scoring it for Buckley. That is fucking insane, Marcel. What do you think of that when I sent it to you today? What do you think?
Dude, I sent it to Keith Schillen, the screenshot. I was like, dude, are you doing drug testing on Sherdog? And he was like, oh my God, what is this? So, Keith at 49-46. So,
yeah, that's the right scorecard for sure. Yeah,
me too. Yeah, I have that as well. I don't agree with Mike Bell. Listen, I like Mike Bell a lot. I think
you're a Mike Bell fanboy.
yeah, I am pretty much, because I think normally he is pretty good. And the thing is, his scorecards that were bad were pretty bad, So a lot of people always picking him out of it. Definitely I think the Grasso Shevchenko one is still clearly in people's minds. But yeah, I mean, I thought that Usman looked amazing. He did very well. He controlled Buckley on the ground, and Buckley didn't know what to do when he was on his back against Usman. He was able to prevent the takedown in the fifth round, and that's why he had success on his feet. But man, Usman looked really good. And I'm actually, what I said on the podcast, I picked, just like you, we both picked Buckley because I thought Usman was on a decline, and I was afraid that Buckley was taking advantage of that, But he didn't, Usman was still pretty well, and man, I don't want to hear anybody anymore that Joaquin Buckley is in close to a title shot or anything,
Well,
I
if
don't
he
want to hear
Usman,
it.
He would have been.
Yeah, but he didn't.
But he
so
didn't.
I don't want to hear it.
I think for Buckley, I think fun fights with guys like Protez and strikers like
Protez is perfect.
I think so. Like strikers. Don't give him wrestlers. We don't need to see that.
Well, listen, if he goes to the top 5 again, we need to see that. You know what I mean? We're not going to give him strikers until the title fight.
I think the Protez fight is perfect. For Usman, he wants the winner of Islam and Jack. Do you agree or no?
No. I think
there are a lot of other. Do you think Ali will get him the shot? No?
I think there are a lot of other contenders, And listen, Usman is good. He did very well. There's only one win in his last 4, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I think he need more. I think the Bilal fight makes sense.
Yeah, I like the fight too.
And definitely, if you look at the time frame, that JDM probably is going to fight Islam in October or November or whatever.
Maybe co-main event on the card, same card.
Yeah, why not? And then you can look further, and then you have Shavkat in the mix. You got Sean Brady over there.
I think Shavkat's like the forgotten guy because he got injured and he kind of like lost his title shot and he's like out of the picture now. It sucks.
Yeah, and the problem is there are fighters who fought like Sean Brady, who can make a case that he deserves it more because he got that Leon Edwards finish.
And even Ian's been more active, right?
Yeah.
So he lost his Shavkat. So
it fucking sucks for Shavkat, because I think he deserves the title shot. But at the same time, he probably has to fight again. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think everything you just said is correct. Let me get some comments here. Your boy Rothfest was asking if you watched Glory. Did you watch?
Only some of the highlights. The thing is with Glory, I think it started at 3 p.m. and it was over at 12 or at 11 p.m. and it's way too long. And listen, the guys who won, I was happy about the most. Listen, the Verhoeven Vakitov fight, we pretty much knew that this was going to happen. Yeah, Verhoeven by decision.
Okay.
But it was I heard that a lot of people left the building after the second round. So
okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I knew that pretty much. So what would have been a great or amazing fight, but the other ones I've heard were pretty good. I saw a sick finish from I think from who was it, Kroma against Rajabzadeh, which maybe Rajabzadeh should have been DQ'd already before that happened because he had 2 illegal shots before. But Kroma knocked him out with a flying knee, man.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I'll check it out later. I didn't get a chance. I was this was Saturday, right?
Remind me to send you a clip afterwards.
Definitely. I was at a bowling tournament pretty much all day. So as soon as I got home, I only had a couple hours, and then obviously UFC started. So I had like very little time. I'm so tired, guys. Like I had a really fucking long weekend, but I'm here now. What's up, brother? He's asking about Octagon. Did you watch?
I didn't watch. I just saw some highlights. Octagon is high quality, man. It's really cool to watch. It's in the stadium a lot of times. And Listen, man. I think Pavel Neruda did the interview with Mike Bunn earlier
he
this
did.
week,
Yeah,
and he's like, "We are the second
they're
promotion
bigger
in
than
MMA."
PFL.
Yeah, and to be really fair,
They
man,
are.
they can match definitely with them. The production volume is amazing. What they have, they have some really good and talented fighters. You
Yep.
see, the UFC got like they have Islam Dulatov, who came from
Yep.
Octagon. They got Felipe Lima, who's going to fight
Didn't they
Pate
just sign a
Talbot.
guy? What's the guy's name they just signed? They signed another guy, didn't they? I thought they got another guy. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought
I
they
don't know
got
what
a
you mean.
third
Maybe
guy.
you're right.
Maybe I shouldn't be talking about this. Maybe it was.
Probably.
Yeah, probably shouldn't be. I think they did sign someone else. I'll just say that. Wink, wink. All right. A lot of people are saying the law fight. Buckley Holland too. Yeah, I don't mind that. The first fight was on like Buckley took that fight in like short notice, his debut, and he got knocked out, but it was short notice. Pilatos cursed. We'll talk about him in a few minutes. Yeah, Jeff Neal. Some people are saying Jeff Neal for sure. Shavkat. Is it what's Shavkat's injury?
Something with his leg. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, what's up, John? Our boy Art Marcel, another $10,000 night for Art. The guy is fucking loaded. Like he's too rich to come on here now, man. We're gonna have to. His time is worth too much. So no, Art's my boy. Art's a good dude. Yeah, Art's a good guy, and we obviously had him on. He gave good plays that week too. Glad to have you here as well, man. Bong rips. What's up, man? Glad to have you here as well. Lazy Bet, our moderator. Take some bong rips for me and from Marcel. Marcel, have you ever smoked weed? Ever?
Just a couple of, but
Puffs?
not.
Did you feel high or no?
No.
Okay, so you didn't inhale it properly. Probably. It's not your thing, though, eh?
No, not really.
Okay.
I'm not into smoking, to be really honest.
No, that's fair. I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore, but man, I used to smoke a lot. I used to smoke like fucking. It was a big pothead, but not anymore. I don't smoke anymore.
You pipe now, right?
But I love you guys smoking, man. Smoke up for us. And I wish I could. Honestly, I just cough so much now. I just can't do it anymore. All right, co-main event: Rose Namajunas defeats Miranda Maverick. I mean, somewhat competitive, but I still thought Rose won every round. To be honest with you, what do you think?
I think Miranda might have got one round, but
second round,
it could have been 30, 27, 29, 28, either of the one. But I mean, Rose won. The thing with Rose was like when she finally was able to hit the switch, it looked very easy, But before that, it was pretty close, She knocked her down in the third round, and that pretty much sealed the deal for Rose, I think. I heard a lot of people saying that it was a big win for her. I was like, I don't know, man. It's an okay win.
Was Maverick ranked? Was she ranked?
Yeah, she's ranked, but under like 11 or 12, and Rose is 7 or 8. So, I mean, listen, you can do maybe Jasmine against Rose. Right. You can do Jasmine against Rose.
I was thinking that, to be honest with you. They probably will. They'll probably put it in Vancouver.
It's a smart thing, You got Rose, you got the former champion. That's how they think, You got the former champion, you put her in a card against the local the Canadian.
Co-main event though, or main? Do we need to see 5 rounds?
They might boot that as a main event. I wouldn't be surprised, dude.
You're such a troll, but you're right too. Marcel, do you think Ngannou versus Verhoeven happens?
I'd be surprised, dude. I don't think I don't think Glory will pay what Francis wants, probably.
Yeah,
and I don't see that happening, to be really honest.
Yeah, I agree. Rose. Yeah, I feel like Rose. People forget that she beat Zhang twice. I picked her both times. Remember this podcast? I did, but no one talks about those wins. So. Yeah, I don't know. Rose she's a gatekeeper, basically. I mean, she's better than a gatekeeper. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But at this point, she's not really like a title contender, but she's still like a top contender, if that makes... I don't know.
Kind of that's a wild card or something. You could
kind of, yeah. Because I think if she does get, like, just say she beats Jasmine, right? That would, like, give her probably one more win after that for a title shot. Like, she could still fight for the belt again.
To be fair, technically, I think Rose can match up with a lot of these girls, but she's got just the strength difference in this division is trouble for her,
Like, the fight with Aaron was, like, competitive,
Yeah. Manon as well in the third round,
Miranda's ACL. I didn't know she was... Oh, at the end, yeah, she was injured, yeah. I don't know. I didn't hear anything. Yeah, like that podcast, guys, and take a bong rip for us, Andrew. We appreciate you, brother. Blake's here. This card, basically, like, damn, the fight sucked. The next one should be a banger over. It's so bad, dude. It's because they want to raise the history out of them. Oh, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Antoine. You're not wrong, man. They do. They want people to forget that Rose, beat Whaley twice. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Edmund Shabazian defeats Andre Petrosky. I mean, not a great fight, Good for Edmund. I've always liked Edmund. He fought, I think he fought kind of safe. you know. But again, with the win show structure, Marcel,
Yeah.
like why would he risk, gassing out like we've seen him, many times, like against Gerald Meerschaert and other fights? Because kind of that's how I thought the fight would go, is that he would, explode early, get tired, and then Petrosky looked really bad in this fight. I thought he didn't pull the trigger at all. I'm not sure, like, was he injured? Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. He didn't do much. There was a nice kick though landed. I think it was the third round, right? Yeah, Edmund landed a nasty. Was it a kick? Was it to the arm or the body? I don't know, but
I think the arm.
dropped. He dropped. Maybe his arm was broken. I don't know. That was brutal.
But, by the way, Zach, I know you're not listening, but thanks to you, that nickname you gave to Andre Petrovsky.
Andre.
You should have never done that.
It's Pride Month, Marcel. We'll just
still, it's listen. It just sounds not right with Andre Petrovsky. It just sounds not right. It's it doesn't fit him, the name Blondre. But I mean, Edmund looked good and was finally he composed himself more, and also what I thought was really good, his takedown defense was pretty on
really
point.
Good.
Yeah, and that was also a problem before. So he's developing, I think,
8-5 in the UFC. I don't know who they give him next. I don't know if he gets a ranked guy, but he could. Like, they could give him Abus, who's ranked number 15. I don't think that's a terrible fight,
that's
right?
possible.
I think it's possible. I'd have to look. Let me take a look at middleweight. Yeah, it would have to be Abus because the other guys are all matched up. So, is Vittori? Yeah, he's fighting Alvin. Okay, so that's happening. Yeah, so you have and then MVP's fighting Canninger, which is just kind of a random fight. I mean, he could fight the loser of Costa and Copio. I think he might get a ranked guy, Edmund, but it would kind of be I know he's young, but he's had a lot of opportunities kind of break out and never has. Edmund Brundage, I think Edmund's way above Brundage, man. Brundage is probably clinging to the roster. What's up, brother? Glad to have you here, man. Appreciate the artwork. He said Happy Father's Day. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. And to all the guys in the chat, I don't know who has kids, but Happy Father's Day to you as well. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Raoni Barcelos defeats Cody Garbrandt. Decent fight. Cody looked great in the first round. This is the fight where where I broke the internet. No, Cody looked great in the first round. I was like, holy fuck, vintage Cody, Marcel. He looked fast. His hands looked fast. He just looked good, and then fell apart. And Raoni took over in the last two rounds.
Garbrandt staggered Raoni, and then he's dancing. I'm like, dude,
so stupid.
This is not the Dominic Cruz fight where you were still undefeated.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're further in your career. Just go either. I was like, go for a finish or keep the pressure on, But I felt like he let Raoni get away with it, Raoni was so, how do you say that, pushing the pace the whole fight, and he won the second and the third round. Listen, when I saw Cody in the first round, I was like, damn, I picked the wrong guy probably because he looked pretty good. Barcelos,
I was like, oh fuck, I got this dog pick right. I'm gonna go up one on Marcel, and then he fucking fell apart. I'll tell you this though, oh, by the way, I want to say the true Happy Father's Day to him because I know he does have a daughter. Yeah, the thing is, even though Cody lost, I still think he's kind of like a name. You know what I mean? I think had he won, I think he was going to call it Sean O'Malley. Right?
And they would have probably made that fight. I wouldn't be surprised.
I would have been kind of excited for him, not going to lie. But now it's he lost again. Does he get cut? Does Cody get cut?
I don't know. It depends on what contract he is.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's a recognizable name. And he got lots of fans. He also got lots of haters. So people tune in to watch him fight. I don't hate Cody, but
I like Cody. He's a good dude. Honestly, he is.
Yeah, plus, you got my boy Alex Perez in the corner. So, I mean, I hope he does well. But it wasn't, besides the first round, it wasn't a good fight by him.
No, here, I got a stat for Cody from you. Cody went 6-0 in his first UFC fights. He's 3-7 since then. His overall record is 9-7 now. Crazy.
Yeah, the chin never came back after he got knocked out by TJ twice. Never.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I appreciate that, Antoine. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Barcelos or Simone, that makes sense. We'll talk about Simone in a few minutes. He called out Rob Font though. I like the call because Rob doesn't have an opponent booked.
Yeah. Do you know why he called out Rob Font?
No idea. Why?
Because Rob Font beat his friend John Matsumoto. That's why he called out Rob Font.
Okay. By the way, Kyler Phillips beat Raoni, right? And
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And
by the way,
Rob beat Kyler. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's like a triangle, you know.
Yeah,
They like doing that. Go ahead.
Did you see the Ricky Simone interview about
Yeah,
Smotherman?
I saw that. Yeah. He said like he was gonna arrest him and it's like racist by Smotherman. It's funny. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Fucking weird ass fight again. Every time Cody Brundage fights first, so it's weird. It's just a weird ending. Mansour Abdul Malik wins by this technical decision.
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought he won. You know, I know you thought he won too, right? Mansour?
The funny thing is, like when we talk in the Discord, I said like I think it might be 2-0 for Mansour. You know, then I watched the stats and I see Cody outland him in every round. You know,
yeah, I know. I was surprised by that, but I guess the first round he did outland him. Yeah.
The thing was like I think Abdul's punches were like
more powerful.
Yeah, more powerful than Cody were.
Yeah,
that's what I think. So. Yeah, it's just a weird fight, man. How it ended, you know, with the clash of heads. I don't like that Abdul Malik is complaining that he's like, yeah,
I know he doesn't know the rules properly.
I was like, come on, dude, you know, be happy you got the win there.
I'll say this,
no contest.
You know, he doesn't know the rules, but the commentators didn't know the rules.
No, he didn't know it was the third round, Brandon.
I love Brendan Fitzgerald.
Me too.
I think he's great. He's a good dude.
Yeah,
but that was bad, man. You know, that's like just say you're watching the not Super Bowl, but just an NFL game. I'll just say like an NFL game, and like it's the fourth quarter, and then they're saying like, well, it's the end of the third quarter. It's like, no, it's the end of the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? So it's like Brandon's got to be more on the ball. I know he did, you know, say later on, he said, oh, I made a mistake, but like
at least
he was like he was talking about that Kevin Holland fight with Kyle Dawkins, but it's like, dude, that was the first round. It's not comparable. It's not comparable. The one that they probably should have brought was you're gonna laugh. The heavyweight, Juan Espino and what's the guy's name?
Alexander Romanov.
That fight with the illegal knee. Didn't he go to the hospital or something? Like
he went. He was for 2 weeks in the hospital because Espino hit a nerve somewhere and he couldn't move his leg. So a lot of people think he faked it, but it wasn't fake at all. You know, it looked bad. It looked like nothing happened, but I heard that he was 2 weeks in the hospital.
Yeah. The super chats. Well, the thing is, it's not my channel; it's Nick's. So I'd have to talk to Nick about it. But I don't know. Like at this point, like I think I agree with you, by the way. But it's not my channel, so it doesn't really make sense for me to do that. You know. But I'll maybe I'll have a discussion about that. Buckley fraud. I mean, Usman's an all-time great. You know. I think the one guy that got fraud checked. I think this is a good segue. Yeah, this is a good segue. I kind of think Umar C got fraud checked. You know, I do think Alonzo's a decent fighter, but Umar looked horrible, dude. What'd you think of this? Plus 500 underdog. I did say he has a chance, like a lot of us were like, this line is fucked, but I didn't pick him as I should have. I really should have picked Alonzo.
Umar tried to weasel again, like he does in a lot of his fights. You know what he did against Dao and Zhang.
That fight was terrible, dude.
Yeah, and that's what he tried with Alonzo. But Alonzo was able to prevent most of the takedowns and kept it standing. And Umar was like really gun shy, pretty much, and didn't want to get touched by Alonzo, which I understand. But
yeah,
it was I thought it was a terrible fight, man. You know, and
awful.
I think. For C, this might be a blessing in disguise, you know, because if he went to the top 15 and he fights somebody better than Manifield, he's fucked, you know, who can stop a takedown as well. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise for him, you know. Probably doesn't feel that way, but yeah.
No, for sure. And then I saw Alonzo, he wants to fight the winner of Johnny Walker and Zhang Minyang. So
yeah, why not?
I don't think he will, but he might fight Johnny Walker if Johnny loses like we expect him to. So
he can avenge his teammate's pen.
Yeah, I think C looked so bad in this fight though. Like, and I wasn't completely shocked because man, I thought he looked bad against Dao Jung. You know, so yeah, bad. But I thought Manifield won. I think the judges got it right. I think the judging was good. Like for the most part, some of the individual rounds were a little weird, like the Mike Bell fight, round in 4 with Buckley, but I think they got all the decisions right. We didn't have any like weird split decisions, thankfully. I think the judges were good. Yeah. All right, next fight here. Now the refs, I don't know what we'll get your thoughts. You're agreeing with me, but I know a lot of people disagreed with us. I put some tweets out last night. A lot of people disagreed with me, but a lot of people agreed too. So obviously, Adolfo Bellato and Paul Craig ends by I know, right? No contest. Paul threw they called it an
accidental fall,
unintentional,
unintentional
up kick. Knocked out Bellato. It was a weird knockout. Bellato, they're saying he's like a soccer player. Like you were saying Neymar. That's what you said.
Yeah, he was Neymaring his way out. Yeah,
took a dive a little bit. Maybe I don't know though, man. Here's the thing. So it's weird. It's a weird finish. So with this fight, it's like Bellato was winning the fight. You know what I mean?
He was.
So like, why would he look for an easy way out? So
why not? You got to win.
Yeah, but he could have got a bonus. There wasn't many finishes.
I mean, we remember Luana Pinheiro against Miranda Marcos.
Yeah,
you know, you said the same thing back then.
But I did. But Luana was also like, she's also, as kind of notorious for gassing out,
Yeah, we know now, but we didn't know then. You know what I mean?
True, that's true. But yeah, no, and I'll say this, like, Zach, great friend of the chat, he was saying that, like, in the rules, it says, like, for an up kick, like, they can't DQ them, but like we saw that happen in the Luana fight. So I didn't know that. I mean, I don't think that's correct. But
the only thing
Aaron Bronstetter, I think, said the same thing. To be honest with you, so I'm like a little confused on myself. But
I mean, the only thing I can say to Zach is he's not watching, so fuck you, Zach.
No, Zach's our friend.
Yeah, of course. Zach is, but this is just for fun. I said that. Zach knows. Fuck you, Zach. I mean, for me, it was like he got kicked in the face, and the ref called the fight because he was out, his what he saw, he was out. It's DQ, Then they watched the tape, and they were like, yeah, he got kicked in the face, but he's pretty much overdoing it a little bit, and he's looking to the referee first, and then he goes out of nowhere, and then he gets the spasms out of nowhere,
He's like trying to take the ref down.
Yeah, so I think that's what I think. I don't know if it's true. So they might think like we have to
punish him almost.
Yeah, you want to give this a DQ, but he's overdoing it, and probably not true. So we don't want to give him a free win. We make it a no contest, but that shouldn't be in consideration, in my opinion. You cannot say like, oh, he's overdoing it. I think he did, but I'm not sure, so they cannot be sure. And it's an illegal upkick what he did there, and the illegal upkick should be a DQ. And I like Paul Craig, so listen, for both guys, it's probably good that it's no contest, but I think it should have been a DQ if you go strictly by the rules. That's my opinion. But
who did you think was up? I thought Bellato was up. Who did you think?
Oh, yeah, Bellato was up.
So according to the stats, Craig was outlanding him. That's what it says.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not saying that's wrong. I know some people in the chat are saying Craig was winning. I don't know. I thought Bellato was. Anyways, we'll see if they do the rematch. The thing is, Craig, I don't know if you saw his post-fight interview. It was actually pretty funny. He was talking to Oscar. I know your boy Oscar, but his contract's up. I don't know. Like, if they re-sign him, why would they even do this fight again? It's kind of a cursed fight. The first fight ended, canceled because of herpes, and then this no contest. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if they re-sign him, but didn't give him a better deal than he already has. Probably a lesser deal.
You think they bring him back, Paul?
Maybe. Man, I thought this interview was so funny. He's like,
he was good.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, these amazing achievements, like beating Jamal Hill, beating Magomed Ankalaev, face kicking Rodolfo Bellato, the straight face.
Oh man. How was Bellato winning all that body work from Craig means nothing? I mean, I think it was somewhat competitive. I don't know. Like, I'd have to watch it back, to be honest with you. But I thought Bellato was winning. I thought the tides were turning too a little bit with that takedown, some ground pound a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he got kicked. Who knows? I mean, Craig might have won. I'm not saying Bellato is not like some, cardio freak. He might have lost. It's too bad we didn't see what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what Lazy Bed said? He said something like, the good thing is, like, it's just a shitty fight. Who cares? You know what I mean? So he's right. I really don't care.
Also bothered me, man, that we only got one camera angle and that we have to wait like 2 minutes before we
that was ridiculous. What was with that delay? I was like, show the fucking replay. Like, we need to see and the doctors were like, we're gonna wait to see the replay. Like, the guy in the cage. I was like, what the hell is this guy saying? Anyways, it was. I don't care. I don't really, to be honest with you, Marcel, I don't really care about seeing this fight again. I don't.
I don't think it's necessary to.
There was another fight between, was it Javid Basharat and Victor Henry? There's a no contest, and they didn't rebook it either. So
we also don't need to see that.
Sometimes they're like, yeah, we don't need to see this again. So I think they should just fucking pass on this fight, guys. Personally, forced Anthony Smith retired to fight Paul Craig. I guess you could do that. But it's funny. It's funny. One of my friends is Scottish, so he messaged me this morning. He's like, dude, I stayed up until 10. He's got kids too, right? So he stayed up. He watched the Craig fight, and then he passed out and woke up, and he saw Usman won. He's like, what happened? He's like, the Paul Craig fight was my main event, man. It ended no contest. These fucking Scottish guys. It's so funny. Booth told them to not show the floppy around. Yeah, potentially. And his grandkids still feel that kick. That was brutal. That was a no contest as well. All right. and this is the fight where I think the card really went downhill. Mike Chiesa defeats Court McGee in an absolutely shitty like kickboxing fight between two grapplers. The thing is, it's like I have so much respect for these guys. I don't want to say anything bad about them. Like I like both guys. They're both. Are they legends? I don't know, but in my heart, kind of. You know what I mean? But this fight sucked, Marcel.
It was like almost, and I don't want to be disrespectful because just like you, I like both guys as well. It felt like almost like an old man fight. You know what I mean? It's like
something that Bellator used to book. Like
they tried their best, but it was like it was pretty much just striking and not amazing. I mean, Chiesa got the win. I think it's his third win in a row, which is pretty decent, I think, after he lost 3 in a row. What can you say about it, man? There were two guys who have been a long time in the UFC, 2 former Ultimate Fighter winners going against each other. I think Chiesa's 5-0 against other Ultimate Fighter winners. But there's not much to say about it, man. It was just like not an amazing fight, and Chiesa won. Yeah.
It was terrible. I thought Chiesa definitely would win, but yeah, it was like a sparring session. These guys have a lot of respect for each other, so it's like sometimes that happens, I would to be honest. What were you saying?
Shameless comment. Like
2 unks at the barbecue. You know what? To be honest with you, I thought Cody and Mansour was also kind of a sparring match until the 3rd round where they were swinging their dicks at each other. That 3rd round was like the best 5 minutes of the card, or whatever it was. 2 minutes, and then the clash of heads. Oh man, this fight was terrible. I don't care about it. I mean, does Chiesa get a ranked opponent after this? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. He's won 3 straight fights. UFC likes him, obviously, works with them. I don't know, man. This fight was awful. Do you think Court? He's lost 4 of his last 5. Does he get cut? Did they give him one more, Court?
I don't know. I don't know if he got still fights on his contract. If he only got 1 fight, maybe not, but maybe he will. But if he got a lot of fights on his contract, I don't know.
He has like 25 fights in the UFC. He probably gets a decent amount of money, I would think. Are they going to Utah this year or no? There's no Utah card in.
I don't think so.
Because really, no fight night either, right?
Normally it is, but
I'm surprised. Why? I'm surprised they're not going in October. It was October. They're going back to Vegas instead.
Did Chiesa
from there, obviously. Go ahead.
Did Chiesa fight Morono already?
I don't think so. I mean, you could do something like that. Yeah, I don't know if did Alex win his last fight? I can't remember.
I think he lost, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Cody just signed a new deal. What's up, David? Garbrandt did, right? Yeah, Cody Garbrandt did. You're right. Ali's his manager. Yeah, Cody's gonna fight again for sure. I was saying you're right. He's lost 2, and he lost to like top guys. I still think had he won, I do think they would have did that fight with Sean O'Malley. I think they really would have did that. You know what's funny? There was someone that I don't know. I think it was this guy Ryan in the Discord. He was like, his wife said she walked in and she's like, I thought this guy fought last week with Cody, like Sean. I thought it was the same guy because they both have tattoos and funny haircut. But yeah. Antoine, what's up? You say Mass Effect. I have the 3rd one, I think, for PS4, but I played the first 2 way back in the day on Xbox, and those games are incredible. But I haven't played them in years. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Yeah, I mean, Chris Boutinho, man, just gets fucking destroyed. 3 losses in the UFC all by brutal knockout. I mean, again, big balls in this guy for stepping up and fighting Malcolm Wellmaker. No one else wanted to fight Malcolm, and they're gonna have a hard time finding people to fight him.
To be fair, UFC should be prosecuted for making that fight.
Bro, this fight should never happen.
Unless I'm happy for Malcolm that he could fight in front of his home crowd, in Georgia, But I mean, that was tough to watch, I mean,
Chris,
it fucking sucks for Moutinho,
I like Chris. He's such a good dude, and it's like he's just being fed to the he fought Sean O'Malley, Malcolm Wellmaker. The Guido Canetti one it's such a bad loss, but
he should have won that one for sure.
The one thing we can say is he was coming off the loss to Sean, and his brain was probably a bit scrambled after that. So yeah, I think it was fight of the night. True says True didn't like the fight. We disagree with you, True. I mean, the 2nd round was good. Rowe was starting to come back, and then Losa knocked him down at the end of the 2nd round. Remember that, Marcel? Yeah. It was a pretty back-and-forth fight.
I mean, it wasn't maybe an amazing fight, but it was at least one of the better fights.
On this card, I think it was one of the highlights. Let's go to the next fight here. Jose Ochoa knocks out Cody Durden. I think this kid is, really good. I'll tell you this. I know he lost that Lonnie Kavanagh guy. I think he's a better prospect. Am I crazy?
We said it after that fight that he looked pretty decent in that fight. He lost the fight, but he made it look good. And he wasn't the favorite. He was the favorite for this fight, and that wasn't
small favorite.
Yeah, but listen, that was not like a mistake or anything. You know, we both picked him to win.
Yeah.
And listen, Cody Durden, I think he's a decent fighter. You know, I like I like Cody a lot, but I felt like Ochoa has something extra, you know, and he got the knockout power, and he tagged him like within 3 seconds of the second round, and he put him away. It was a great finish for him, and good win, you know, great bounce back after that debut loss, which was also not a bad fight, and he has a good team, man. I think he's with the Shooter Box, right, Diego Lima. So good fighter, man.
Cody's 6-6-1 in the UFC. Does he get cut? He's lost 4 of his last 5.
Yeah, I don't know. It's possible, man. It's possible, you know. But you also got to check who he lost to, you know. The thing
Josh
is,
Van.
yeah, but the thing is, like Ochoa is not pretty high on the list right now, but he's very talented. You know what I mean? So he only got that win over Matt Snell, right? So yeah,
they'll probably keep. Matt's still in the roster. You know what? They'll probably keep Cody for one more.
I think they should. Yeah,
he'd have to win that fight, I would say. But yeah, I'd have to look at the flyweight division. There's probably some. You know what? He'll probably fight some guy from Contender Series that they signed this year. I would have to imagine.
Road to UFC guy.
No, he's not Carlos Hernandez. They cut that guy, by the way. The guy that was fighting all the Asian prospects. He got cut, right?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Ricky Simone defeats Cameron Smotherman. I mean, this is kind of what I thought would happen. Did we talk about this fight? I can't remember. Was it booked when we?
No, I think we talked in the Discord about it.
Yeah, we didn't because it wasn't booked. I mean, credit to Smotherman again. Short notice for him, but gets laid on top of for 2 rounds, and the third round, starts going off on Ricky, but too late. I mean, it's a solid win for Ricky, but I mean, it really wasn't a good performance. I think overall, because I think he should have finished this guy in the first 2 rounds. Quite frankly, I really think he should have. By submission.
Yeah, the funny thing with Ricky is like we didn't give how do you say that, a nickel anymore for him, pretty much, and then he beats Jeffy Basharat with a knockout. Now he got some smaller one win, and now he has 2 wins in a row when he was like almost out of the UFC, I felt like, after that Vinicius Oliveira fight, which was a good video back then.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, Vinicius is good, right? So
I
doesn't look bad at all.
I kind of, how do you say that? I kind of was too much on the, how do you say that? On the weight with the Vinicius, because I think I didn't pick him against Simone, and I also didn't pick him against Said. But he showed to me against both Simone and Said that his ground game is pretty much good as well, I
mean, and you're going to pick him against Kyler Phillips, I can just imagine.
God, he looks so bad against Font, man.
I know. Smotherman, does he get one more? I guess he would, because he took a short notice. He's 1-2 in the UFC.
Yeah, I think so. And he took it for 2 short notice fights.
He's with Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing them a solid. Maybe he got a new contract for taking this fight. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, the Charlotte Lampos Gregorio guy, that Cypriot guy, that guy's not good, and he fucking knocked out Smotherman. That's where we kind of should have known.
Was it a kind of early stoppage? I remember.
It might have been. It's been a few years now, but the thing is, like, he looked really good against Jake Hadley, and I'm like, okay, maybe this guy's good. And let's be honest, our boy Alex Bahuna, he kept telling us this guy's really fucking good. Yeah, he fought in Fury. This guy wasn't good. All right, Philip Rowe gets robbed of a bonus here, but yeah, he comes back and knocks out Angelosa with less than 1 minute left. I mean, pretty fucking great fight, man. And the finish was fucking brutal. Bro, he's like holding his face and laying those nasty uppercuts.
Yeah.
Dude, incredible. You know what it reminded me of? Remember Tim Bosch against Yushin Okami?
Yeah.
Similar to that. To me, it was the most exciting moment on the card. It really was. This is the takeaway from the card for me. When I look back at this card, I mean, obviously Usman had the amazing performance, and you had the crazy knockouts by Ochoa and Wellmaker especially, but this is the fight where I'm like, damn, I want to watch this fight again. I want to watch this fight again, especially the third round. And also, I love this fight, dude.
Also, consensus dog, dude. So,
dude, hit the button. Let's go. You got it? Here. Fucking go.
I mean, I was like, at a certain moment, Rowe lost the first round, because Losa was good with the grappling. Second round, I think Rowe was winning until he got knocked down by Losa, because the margins were like close, but Rowe was doing a little bit better. And then when Losa knocked him down, he took that back, So it was 2-2 and 2-0 down. And I was like, he's winning the third round, but the urgency is not there, He had the urgency, but not enough. I was feeling like, you're going to fucking lose a decision, dude. And Losa is the kind of guy who is difficult to finish, He got the steel chin normally, So, and Rowe was keep tagging him. I was like, dude, maybe you can do it, And then finally he went down, And then the referee was pretty quick with it, by the way. But Rowe was
He was face first, bro. He
yeah,
was down
yeah,
face
yeah.
first.
I was cool with the stoppage. So yeah, great win for Rowe. Happy for the dude. I probably would have been cut if he didn't win the fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for him.
Dude, this was awesome. But yeah, Losa definitely death cast. It kind of reminded me of Neil Magny and Mike Malott, honestly. It reminded me of that fight. Very similar, where Malott grappled his way for the first 2 rounds and then fell apart in the third. Huge win for Rowe. Obviously, I would imagine that was the last fight in his contract, because if it wasn't, then he probably would have been caught. But I imagine he'll sign a new contract. For Losa, does he get caught? He's 2-3-1, no contest. Did they cut him or did they give him one more? Because it was a good fight.
Yeah, maybe they give him one more, but it's difficult. He already had that thing with Brian Battle, where a lot of people still have in the back of their mind. I don't really.
That was a good, for sure. He had a good fight with Jack, though, Contender. It was a good fight a few years ago.
It was one of the best fights in Contender Series history, I think. So.
I agree. And then main event, or sorry, not main event.
yeah.
Opening fight. My bad. I don't know why I said that. The first fight in the card, not the main event. Jamie Lynn Horth, the Canadian, the pride of Canada here, Marcel. Just beats up the stripper Vanessa Demopoulos. This fight shouldn't have been sanctioned either, dude. This huge size discrepancy. This was a beatdown. I mean, Jamie Lynn landed 101 significant strikes. She won every single round. She made this fight look easy. I know she closed it like minus 500. She should have been like minus 1,000, like maybe more. Yeah.
I don't want to talk shit because I like a lot of people there, but I saw MMA Junkie staff picks. They were 9-3 for Vanessa. I was like,
I don't know why. Look at the size difference. Like,
yeah, I was like, how do you see that happening? I don't see that. Plus, like, listen, I hate to shit on fighters, but Vanessa might be happy that she's not in the negative, because of some fight she won in the UFC. She lost 3 straight now. I don't know what the UFC is going to do. Maybe they give her one more because she stepped up for them to fight at 125 against Horde on short notice. But man, I mean, it's going to be difficult,
I agree. I think he gets another for sure. Low saying Vanessa gets another. Probably Vanessa for sure, because she took it on short notice. I don't know why. First off, I don't know why she's at 125. Bad advice by her. Her management should have said, no, we can't take this fight. She's not a flyweight.
She won the fight.
Oh, there we go. She's with Iridium too, or no?
Yeah, both Horde and Vanessa.
Well, that's why we got it. Same. Oh yeah, Vanessa screaming in the camera. No, because of the short notice and stuff. That's why she was saying that. Are you guys doing a fight announcements? It wasn't planned for this week. We could talk about it a little bit after the breakdown, I guess.
If the breakdown is shorter than normal, we can do it definitely.
We could do 5 minutes or 10
We only have 12 fights to break down, so it's okay. Probably.
Yeah, I think we're done here anyways. That was it for UFC Atlanta. Just an awful card. At least we had a fun, time here talking about the recap, but bad card. I'm glad we move on.
I said to a friend of mine yesterday, it's like, dude, I have more enjoyment during the podcast with Adam for a lot of cards than I have actually watching the cards.
Who said that?
I said that. I said the podcast is much more fun to do than watching the fucking cards.
Would you say that to your mom?
No, to a friend of mine.
Oh, okay. That's funny. I know your mom watches. Hello, Mrs. Dorf. But, she probably doesn't watch this much, but that's funny though. That's actually funny, more so. Yeah, no. See, same here sometimes. Like sometimes it's more enjoyable talking to all you guys in the chat and chopping up with fucking Big Marcel here than these fights. This card was frustrating to watch. Listen, I love the UFC. I love MMA, but I'll tell you, Marcel, there's no worse feeling than like watching one of these cards and being like, "Fuck, I should have did something else with my Saturday night." There's no worse feeling.
Or there's no worse feeling than go to bed at 8:30 p.m. 8:30 a.m. You're fucking tired. Plus, it's 32 degrees outside.
Was this card earlier because of the ESPN? Is that why? Or
it's late.
I'm sorry, later because of ESPN.
Yeah,
is that why?
ESPN, it's all the fucking time.
You like the ones that start 3 hours earlier, right?
Yeah, it's much better. Then I'm done at like 4 a.m. That's okay.
Yeah, no, I feel bad for you, man.
Yeah,
all right,
the Shanghai card is going to be even more fucking awful, because that starts at 7 a.m. or something.
I know. Look at this. I literally questioned my life during this big card. That's funny. I'll say this though, some of those overnight cards, I kind of have fun doing them because no one else is really watching them for the most part. So it's like it's jokes to watch them. Anyways, do you guys think they come back to Atlanta? Yeah,
probably. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
For sure. Do they go every week? Or sorry, every year? I don't know. But maybe they probably should.
Maybe if you ask Nice Antoine, maybe they will. But on a serious note, yeah, they definitely will come back, dude.
By the way, Marcel, who are the 3 Georgian-born fighters in UFC?
Yeah, you said it yesterday to me. Cody Durden, Malcolm Wellmaker, and Taurus Finney.
Isn't it funny though? Torres is the one that doesn't get the fight in the card because they hated the fight.
Obviously, they also hope that Bekoyev beats him, but I mean, we need to see that if that happens. I don't know,
what
man.
if Torres
Sure.
wrestles his way to a win?
Yeah, I mean, would you be surprised? I wouldn't.
I mean, a little bit, but I don't know.
Possible.
I like Bekoyev. He's got good Twitter game. I don't know if it's him
That's
running
true.
or someone else, but it's fucking funny. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for the UFC Atlanta recap. We're gonna go into the next podcast here. We're gonna do the UFC Baku preview. So just give us a few minutes, guys. I'll get the podcast set up. Appreciate everyone joining us. Give me a few minutes here. I'll set it all up and we'll tweet it out.